And welcome into your moving parts. Well, to get your moving parts moving, it starts with normally a very important part of your body called your feet. And guess what? If you don't have the proper thing on your feet, you're not moving. Or if you are moving, you're going to cause damage. Today we have with us Avery Ainsworth. And Avery, you are the proprietor extraordinaire of Fleet Feet.
That's correct.
And those fleet feet really get them moving. Of course, you're a big runner yourself. You got the fleetest feet in town. Every time there's a run, this guy's #1 in all the runs. But it's summertime. Living is easy. We're going to the beach. We're going to the lake. And a lot of times people put on flip-flops. But if you put on a pair of $2 flip-flops, you're going to get just about that, aren't you?
That's
a
exactly
flop.
Right. That's exactly right. Not every flop is created equal, just like not every shoe is created equal.
Right.
So we carry some flops that are going to give you a lot more support and not flop around and make noises as much as those other flops do. So you're really going to take care of your feet while you're at the beach or the lake this summer.
So let's talk about some of those.
Well, the first one here is Superfeet. Superfeet's actually
these three here.
These three here. Superfeet's actually a brand that makes custom orthotics, over-the-counter, trim-to-fit orthotics, and then they were like, well, let's put our orthotic into a flop. So it's actually the base of their orthotic made into a flip-flop. So you're going to get that extra support that you would get from a insert inside your shoe combined with a flip-flop so that your feet can breathe this summer when it's nice and warm in that Alabama heat.
Okay. Now, if you come in there, because I've bought things from you, you don't just walk in and buy something off the shelf. Your people actually look at your feet and have you walk in the different types of things. So these here, you don't enhance. I know I bought some walking shoes last year, and then I got an insert that went on the inside that really got me the way I needed to be. These don't have anything that you put into them extras there.
No, this is that insert.
That is that insert?
Made into a flip-flop.
Okay.
So you're getting it without actually having to add something extra.
Well,
that is great, because as young people, growing up, I know we didn't pay. You went to the cheapest shoe store for the most part, and most of the women I know have wound up with foot problems from wearing high heels that didn't fit or were too tight. So you wind up with bunions and all kinds of things. So nobody realizes how important this really is.
And these are both for men and women here?
Yes, just different shapes for the men. It's going to have a wider heel, because most men have a wider heel, and a little bit longer arch. And the women's going to have a little bit narrower heel and a shorter arch.
And then those on the other side?
These are called UFOs, so they're actually going to be a little softer, cushier kind of feel to it, and they just have a built-up rubber. Come in a couple of different styles and colors. Actually, there's a whole rainbow full of colors that we have at the store.
I think I got some that are in the brown.
Yes, you have the brown ones.
But let me ask you, the other day I was wearing them for the first time for my trial run, and I was kind of flopping when I was walking. Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah, I think
I was getting a little bit of the...
You probably just need to get used to it a little bit, because they are a little different with the curved front and the curved back. They feel a lot different than a regular flop. But the biggest thing is you want to make sure it's nice and tight around the top of the foot.
Okay, see, I got the one that goes on around your toe.
Yeah, so they carry a slide kind and the one in between the toes. If you're still flopping around, come see us. Let's make sure we got one that's nice and tight across the top of the foot.
Okay.
We don't want you flopping.
No flop. It'll have a slight flop, but not that $2 flip-flop that you can hear from a mile away.
Yeah, when you're walking down the way.
And I love the fact that, like Jack said, service is a part of your business. So he can come back in, you can take a look at it. It's personalized. It's totally different than just going to a big box store.
If it's not feeling good, you're not going to wear it. And I'd rather have you wearing something that's taking care of your feet than it's sitting in the closet.
Well, because if you're, just like we said on the onset, for your moving parts, you're going to move if you're comfortable in what you're moving in. The big important question, and hopefully you've got an answer. Summertime, people go to the beach. They want to walk the beach. Is there a do or don't for walking the beach?
The best part of walking the beach is you want to find the firmest surface out there. Don't walk in that loose sand. You want to find the firm. Your body's going to work a lot better there. But sometimes that's on a slant, so you want to make sure you walk down with one leg lower, and then on the back you want to rotate so that you're not rotated the whole way down. But you can usually find some good hard sand to walk through. That's going to be the best for your body.
You've got something else too.
So another important key is sunscreen. We know with people being out and being active this summer, and the more heat and the more sun that we get, you've got to take care of your skin. Skin cancer is a huge problem.
Absolutely.
So we carry some by Sun Balm is the name of it. They're actually out of Florida. And it's not as oily as most other sunscreens, not as thick as some other ones. It goes on, it actually smells really good, so it's not that sunscreen smell all day long. And it comes in several different strengths of it, all the way from 15 to 70. Comes in your rub-on, just ointment, all the way down to your spray-on.
Okay.
And then they've also got your aloe gels. They've got some zinc balm for your face to really block out the face, and a couple of different lip balms with it too. But you've got to take care of not just your feet, but your skin. That's your body's biggest living organism.
Nobody realizes how important that is, and melanoma is on the rise, and that is not funny.
Well, it's because we spend so much time worshiping the sun.
This is good for children too?
Yes, so we put it on our son every time we go to the beach or anywhere. Actually, anytime he goes outside, because the kid's skin is
wow,
a little
that's tender, so
yes,
you really
exactly.
have to be careful.
But I don't think people pay enough attention to putting on sunscreen. We just say, oh, we're going to be out there for an hour.
Let's let people know where you're located.
We're on the corner of Carter Hill, Zelda, and Vaughn, next to Panera Bread and Stakeout.
Right in that little shopping center there. It's called Fleet Feet, and you know I bought a pair of shoes last year, and I got a Fitbit, so I'm walking on average of anywhere from 4 to 8 miles a day.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
So I need to ask you, when are my shoes going to wear out? And maybe you could.
Well, they're usually going to say shoes are 300 to 500 miles, 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
I always say it's like that oil change. You're going to get whatever comes last.
Yeah, amen.
You're going to go with either the months or the miles, whichever one comes last. So
whichever one
that's
comes.
really with your shoes. You want to look at that too.
Okay.
Good
But
advice.
what I could, well, of course, we're going to have you come back and we're going to talk more about the walking shoes. But so, Fleet Feet. Located, it's called what's the shopping center?
Westminster Plaza.
Westminster Plaza. Go there. What they're going to do is not just sell you some shoes. They're going to make sure the shoe they put on your foot is going to make you move the right way. We'll be right back right after this.